Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a bit of a shortcut. We want to get you really well informed about something pretty incredible, planning an African safari, specifically looking ahead to 2026.
Yeah, and we're using some unique insights, sources provided by Global Hunting Solutions.
Exactly. So, okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how these sources aren't just, a menu of options. They really try to distill the most important bits of knowledge, the insights about crafting an African safari.
Right.
So our mission really is to help you understand not just what experiences are out there, but maybe more importantly, why certain details genuinely matter for making it, well, an exceptional, unforgettable adventure.
That's a great way to put it. So let's kick off with the timing. The sources really highlight 2026.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that year being flagged as like a banner year for this kind of trip?
Well, according to these sources, 2026 is looking like a prime year. It seems to be down to a pretty remarkable alignment of factors.
Okay. Like what?
Things like sustained political stability across key safari regions, which is obviously crucial, plus game populations that aren't just stable, but actually thriving. Robust is the word they use.
Thriving, okay. That's a tier.
And then the actual safari offerings themselves. They've apparently been meticulously refined, for the best possible experiences.
So all these things are coming together.
Exactly. They coalesce, creating this, well, unparalleled window for what lots of people consider a real bucket list trip, or even an incredible first-time safari. It's just a moment where conditions really seem to allow for a truly uncompromised, immersive journey.
So the stars are aligning, you could say. But okay, let's zoom in on the global hunting solutions angle mentioned in the sources. What specifically aims to make their safaris unique? What are the key elements they emphasize?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. They detail several unique selling points, things designed to really differentiate the experience.
Go.
First off, there's this unwavering reliance on expert guidance. We're talking full-time, highly experienced professional hunters, PHs, as they're known.
Right, PHs.
And these aren't just guides. They often come with literally decades of actual in-the-field knowledge. So it's not just about, pointing out an animal.
It's deeper than that.
Much deeper. It's about understanding behavior, the terrain, ethical engagement, all of it.
Okay, that makes sense. And beyond the people, the PHs, what about the actual land they operate on? Do the sources say anything about an advantage there?
Oh, absolutely. They really emphasize exclusive access, massive private concessions, and government blocks.
What does that mean, practically speaking?
In practice, it means access to these huge tracts of land, often privately owned or maybe government leased, but specifically dedicated to hunting and conservation.
And why is that so important?
Well, it's crucial because it ensures access to high-quality trophy game. But maybe more importantly, it offers unique, less pressured experiences. You just won't find that on crowded public lands generally.
Ah.
Imagine encountering wildlife whose behavior isn't constantly influenced by people around. It makes for a much more authentic interaction. Kind of unparalleled, really.
That paints a powerful picture, definitely. What about the practical side? Once you actually land, safari trips can involve a lot of moving parts, right?
That's precisely where they highlight what they call seamless logistics. This means comprehensive, hands-on support right from the moment you land.
Like
Airport meet and greet, active help with firearm clearance if you bring your own rifle, which can be tricky, and all your ground transfers within the country are completely handled.
okay, so taking the stress out of it.
Exactly. It's about removing every potential headache so you can just focus entirely on the adventure itself.
And after a day out there.
Then the promise extends to luxury accommodations. The sources consistently describe, five-star lodging, gourmet meals, daily laundry service, open bars,
Wow.
and staff who were apparently praised constantly for providing just exceptional hospitality, making guests feel like family, that sort of thing. Testimonials even mention lodges feeling like luxury resorts or being elegant and modern.
So it's definitely not just a hunt. It's a whole pampered experience around it.
That seems to be the idea, yeah.
What if you have a group and maybe not everyone is purely focused on hunting? How do they cater to that?
That's where the diverse offerings come in. You can, of course, target specific high-quality trophy game, loads of plains game like kudu, sable, or the big five like Cape Buffalo, leopard, elephant.
Right.
But what's really flexible is the option for combination safaris. These can apparently seamlessly blend the hunting with, say, photo safaris, or even fishing excursions,
Ah, interesting.
which makes them genuinely ideal for families or couples or maybe groups where people have different interests. ensures everyone finds their own unique thrill.
That makes a lot of sense.
The sources also explicitly mention a commitment, working only with trusted, proven partners who prioritize ethics, safety, and trophy quality. That seems key for ensuring a responsible and high-standard experience all around.
Okay, so with that unique approach laid out, let's get specific.
Yeah.
Where exactly, according to the sources, can you go? And what kinds of adventures can you actually tailor for yourself? Location, trip length.
Right, destinations.
Mhm.
The primary regions highlighted are South Africa, specifically Limpopo Province, Kimberley, the Eastern Cape. Then you've got Botswana and Tanzania.
Okay.
And there's mention of a broader network, too, extending into Namibia and Uganda. Each place offers a pretty distinct flavor of the African experience.
And what about the animals, the species you can pursue in these different spots? Give us a sense of the range.
Sure. For plains game, South Africa's Limpopo and Kimberley regions are described as truly prime. You're looking at a huge variety, everything from, majestic kudu, impala, zebra, to maybe more unique stuff like nala or gemsbok.
Lots of options.
Definitely. It ensures a really varied hunting experience specific to those areas. And apparently, some South African lodges even throw in luxury extras like spas.
Spas, okay.
Yeah. Then for dangerous game, so think buffalo, leopard, elephant, Botswana, and Tanzania are emphasized. These are described as remote, wild, and unforgettable, like a real deep dive into Africa's wildest parts.
Sounds intense.
It does. And it's also mentioned you can sometimes combine plains game hunts with dangerous game, like buffalo or lion. Or even do specialized predator hunts, caracal, serval, jackal, that sort of thing.
So it sounds like you can really dial in the intensity and focus, not just the location. Do they outline different trip lengths based on those goals?
Yes, they do. Especially for the South Africa Plains game, they've got these flexible itinerary options. For a, let's say, concise but impactful trip, there's the 7-day safari.
7 days.
Yeah, and it isn't just short. It's designed for efficiency, ideal for targeting maybe 7 to 10 animals,
Yeah.
typically centered around Kimberley.
Kimberley again.
Right. With hunting on a private concession, apparently just 20 minutes from the airport, it's known for these huge open savannas and responsible game management.
And what's a typical day like on that?
They outline it pretty clearly. Morning hunt, back to the lodge for lunch, maybe a midday rest, then out again for an afternoon hunt. It all wraps up with sundowners, hors d'oeuvre, and a gourmet 3-course South African dinner by the fire.
Sounds pretty good.
It's about maximizing high success opportunities in a concentrated time frame.
Okay. And for someone wanting a bit more time, maybe focusing on really specific trophies?
That's where the 10-day safari comes in.
Right.
That extra time in Kimberley allows for much more selectivity. You can really focus on pursuing specialty trophies.
Right.
Ideal if you're aiming for a specific number, maybe 6 up to 30 animals, or
Hmm.
just exceptionally high-quality examples. And the open plains there offer great opportunities for long-range shooting and glassing. Adds another layer of skill.
And the longest option mentioned.
That would be the 14-day safari. This is presented as, and I quote, perfect for collectors or a comprehensive African safari experience.
Comprehensive indeed.
It combines 10 days of plains game in Kimberley with an optional shift over to the Limpopo bushveld, different terrain, access to even more species.
So mixing it up.
Exactly. And this longer trip also opens the door for optional cultural add-ons. Things like visiting the historic Big Hole Diamond Mine, or guided tours, even photo safaris or conservation visits. Makes it a really holistic immersion.
That truly does sound like an all-encompassing experience. So thinking about all these options, what does this mean for you, the listener, considering a trip like this? Beyond just the hunt itself, what about those practicalities and the appeal for non-hunters or families?
Well, it seems designed to be an experience of all-inclusive comfort, really minimizing any logistical stress for the traveler.
How so?
The typical package includes, well, pretty much everything once you're in the country. All ground transfers, the luxury lodging, gourmet meals, beverages, plus the professional hunter, the trackers, the skinners.
Okay.
They also handle the field prep of trophies for export. Rifle rental is usually an option if needed, and daily laundry service and Wi-Fi in most camps, which is a genuine luxury after a day out, right?
Daily laundry. Yeah, that's definitely a plus. And what about the complicated stuff, like bringing a firearm internationally or getting trophies home legally?
They explain that active assistance is provided with all the firearm import, paperwork, and logistics, which, as you can imagine, can be pretty complex.
I bet.
And also, CITES permits. Those are the crucial international documents for ensuring legal, sustainable trade in wildlife products. They handle those, along with the trophy prep itself, salt drying, dipping, packing, It's all meticulously managed to ensure your trophies get home safely and legally.
That sounds like a huge weight off your shoulders.
Absolutely. Takes
Yeah.
away a major potential worry.
And for folks who aren't hunters or for families traveling together, is South Africa really presented as a good fit for that kind of multifaceted trip?
Definitely. South Africa is specifically highlighted as an excellent destination for first-time international hunters, partly because of high success rates and the quality of accommodation.
Okay.
But crucially, it's strongly emphasized as being very suitable for families and non-hunters too. You can picture it, right? Maybe one person enjoys spa treatments while others are out hunting.
Yeah.
Or the whole group goes on wine tasting tours, cultural excursions, maybe even photo safari extensions to iconic places like Kruger National Park or Victoria Falls. It's about crafting a truly shared experience, not just separate activities.
Makes sense. Any specific examples of that customization?
Yeah, there's even a specific package mentioned called the Two Blades package. It sounds quite different. For $4,195 per guest, minimum of 2 people.
Two blades. What's that?
It includes 2 nights lodging, 3 days, 2 hours of flight time per group, private ranch accommodation, personal chef. It's described as a high adrenaline experience in the skies. Hints at maybe helicopter activities or something similar.
Wow, that sounds incredibly unique. Okay, so for someone feeling inspired, maybe ready to take the leap, what about booking confidence? What do the sources say about policies if, plans have to change unexpectedly?
Good question. They state that while deposits are generally non-refundable,
Okay, standard enough.
they can usually be transferred for rescheduling within 12 months, obviously subject to availability.
Right.
They also highlight flexibility for things like bad weather or other unforeseen circumstances. The aim seems to be working with clients to set a new date, though refunds aren't typically issued in those cases. More about partnership, finding a solution.
Right, trying to make it work. Okay, to really bring this whole deep dive to life now, what are actual travelers saying? People who've been on these kinds of adventures. What consistently resonates most in their experiences, based on the sources?
Yeah, the testimonials really seem to underscore a few key impactful aspects. A lot of people mention the seamless nature of it all, from the moment they arrive to when they leave.
Seamless, okay.
Yeah, covering flights, transfers, permits, indicating everything is just expertly managed. One less thing to worry about.
Definitely.
The impressive trophy quality is another common theme, with specific examples cited like kudu reaching over 55, even 60 inches, or sable over 44 inches. That's significant for hunters.
Serious quality, then.
Seems so. And the luxury and comfort of the accommodations are consistently praised. People describe them feeling like a luxury resort or being elegant and modern.
Right, we touched on that. The contrast must be something.
Imagine stepping out of the bush after a long day and into this kind of oasis.
Mm-hmm.
Gourmet meals, that daily laundry service. It's a far cry from roughing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about those moments of, unexpected thrill or unique activities that really stand out in people's memories?
Those who experience them really rave about the thrill of unique activities, like intense and next-level night predator hunting.
Night hunting.
Yeah, for species like caracal, civet, or spotted genemee, something truly outside the ordinary safari experience for many.
Wow.
And beyond specific activities, the exceptional level of service and hospitality really stands out. Personalized touches, like someone mentioning having a massage appointment scheduled for their spouse on arrival without even asking.
That's pretty attentive service.
Isn't it? And many also note just the sheer abundance of game they see right from the moment they leave camp, often spotting wildlife just steps from their lodge.
Incredible.
So all these elements, they really tie back to that core promise reiterated in the sources. Personalized service, that exclusive access, the luxury component, and expert guidance backed by decades of experience. It all seems to combine to ensure a truly unforgettable adventure.
Well, this deep dive has certainly unpacked an incredible amount of information on crafting an African safari adventure, from, why 2026 might be the year, to these meticulously tailored, seemingly all-inclusive experiences. It's clear there's a vast amount to consider when planning such a, momentous trip.
It really does raise an important question, doesn't it? How am I carefully curating and planning an immersive adventure like this, like the detailed safaris we've been discussing? How might that not only fulfill a long-held dream, but also perhaps uniquely transform your perspective on the world, maybe even expand your own sense of possibility?
That is a truly thought-provoking question to ponder. We certainly hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and maybe even put an African safari firmly on your radar for 2026 or beyond. What other kinds of deep dives into knowledge or experiences might you explore next? Until then, keep digging, keep learning, and keep discovering.